Hello there. Today's brush is my Cave Shaves Works with an Ubersoft knot. I'm going to put it down here, let it get wet. And the soap tonight, I don't have, it's just, it was piffed to me by Bull Goose. I wanted in a piff on the shave nook a long time ago, and it just came in a box, and I did one of these numbers with it, which is what I usually do. And you can see the sample's been used quite a bit, and I've scraped a lot of samples off of this and sent to other people. And this soap's discontinued. This soap is discontinued, but it's a fantastic soap. If you find it anywhere, somebody's selling it, don't go crazy spend any money on it. It's soap. Okay, don't spend a ton of money on it. It's soap, but it's a good soap, and if you have opportunity to try it, I recommend it highly. All right, let's go ahead and move on down. All right, drop my brush in the sink. And you see, I didn't bloom this. It's a hard, would be considered, I think, a hard soap. It's certainly not a soft soap like an Italian soft soap, or many of the artisan soaps are. Sometimes I will put a little water on a hard soap, depending on the soap, or I'll even put a little water on a soft soap, but I don't usually do it for very long. I don't find it necessary. To each his own, and all that kind of stuff. If you believe that blooming a soap and getting it hot so that the essential oils pop off, or whatever you want to call it, and achieve a better scent that way, more power to you. I think the heat from this scuttle and heat from the water is plenty enough to take care of that without having to soak the living snot out of my soaps. But that's my opinion. I saw a discussion yesterday or the day before on one of the shaving groups on Facebook, and one of the gentlemen was asking, what was it? Oh, they were talking about blooming soap, and that, you shouldn't judge us. The guy made a comment that he sees a lot of people opening up soaps in a soap shop or whatever, and judging soap on the way that it smells without being lathered, and that was the wrong way to do it. And once after it lathers, it can change and be a lot different, and that's correct. The problem with that is that when you go to buy something, you can't lather it up to see. So if it stinks to my nose, before I make a lather with it, it's not going to be lathered up, because I'm not going to fool with it. That's the only thing I have to judge by, for better or worse. That's the way that goes. So to each his own. But some of this stuff, I haven't seen it in a while. Of course, it's because I haven't purchased any artisan soap in a while or any other kind of soap. To be honest, I'm loaded with soap and don't see any. I mean, I'll take it if I can find it cheap or someone wants to send me something or something. I'm always open to new stuff, but I don't have the money to keep buying soaps. I got 3.5 drawers full of soap. So, anyway, but a year or two ago, a couple of years ago, there was a couple of artisans that were putting out, and I'm not naming their names, so they're well known and well loved, and the soap was well received, however you want to input that into your brain. But they were making soaps that had really, really strong, and a couple of them to me were really, really offensive types of smells. And people were eating them up and going, well, once you lather it, buy it. Because once you lather it, that's true. And I've seen that happen with soaps that were given to me, and I smelled it and went, I don't really like that, and then I lathered in it. But if I'm going to spend my money, it better smell good to start with. Uh, that's my opinion. This is my Feist and Son straight, and it has been finished, or it has been honed on a caudicle and finished on an Escher, which is my favorite way to hone with a caudicle. And this soap is like nasty slick, which is a good thing. And one of the reasons I love the soap. Hands are trembling a bit, so I've got to be careful, or there might be a little bit of blood. So I'll be going a bit slower. And the choice of a caudicle edge was a good one. The caudicle Escher combination is really smooth. It's very sharp, in my opinion. Not hyper sharp, but it's a really sharp, smooth shave. But to me, there at least feels like there's a safety factor in the edge. It's so much smoother than some of the other forms of honing. And I expect that would hold true with caudicle and just about any Thuringian. An Escher is a Thuringian, and they're more in demand and demand a higher price, but it's a Thuringian. That's what it is. It just has the Escher name and Escher label, and supposedly they had much better quality control than some of the others, yada, yada, yada. A Thuringian is a Thuringian, pretty much. So I would imagine, from what I read, the only Thuringian I've ever tried is my Escher, and it's a fantastic home. Uh, well, I would imagine a conical followed by any good Thuringian would have an edge that was really similar in smoothness and comfort and all of that. That's a beautiful shave. Lovely. All right. This razor, for some reason, I think the scales might be a slightly bit warped, and I can't really see it because the blade is not and the shank is not, but it does. I want to center in the scales. So you have to be careful. When you go to open it. Or it'll rub the side of the edge of the blade will rub the side of the scales coming out, or it'll hit the side of the scales going back in and damage all that lovely work I did putting an edge on it. And on that note, if you're a straight shaver, you should be aware. Lovely. That over time, any straight razor can move. You should always, at the very least, guide a straight razor's blade back into the scales. You should watch it and guide it back into the scales because you never know when that's going to move. And when you're going to smack your scales, it can happen to any straight razor. Over time, but particularly with vintage ones. And it's something you should be aware of. That is just one absolutely fantastic shave, dude. But you should be aware of that. You should pay attention when opening and closing a straight razor. My humble opinion from my experience. Cold water rinse. And I'm going to go with, this is Aqua Velva Musk. It's an old Avon Liberty Bell decanter. And I like the musk with the mango oil. The mango oil is a really good stout kind of. It's not offensive or anything like that, but it is a strong, robust type of scent, and musk goes really well with it. All right. Thanks for coming along, gentlemen. God bless you, and I'll talk to you later.